flies in, and he's looking so freaking delicious. Like, I just want to lick him up and down.
Peter is my dream man.
He's just hot. It's just sexy.
To new beginnings!
We have this undeniable connection. Physically, there's a spark.
Every single time I'm with you, it gets better and better.
I am falling in love with Peter, and I can't get enough of him.
Crazy in love. That's the type of true love that I'm after.
Yeah, no question. This is going to be a hot and heavy season. Look at that. What's fan favorite Peter Weber as The Bachelor? Here to break down Monday night's premiere, People's senior editor, Brianne Heldman. So much to talk about. Oh, my goodness. So let's break down the episode. We met Peter's 30 Bachelorettes. Some memorable entrances, as there always are. Deandra showed up wearing a windmill on her back, an ode to the 4 times in a windmill. She said, ready for round 5 or whatever. Savannah blindfolded Peter, then kissed him, which I actually didn't think that was as cringy as it could have been. Oh. Tammy brought a TSA scanner and scanned Peter's body. Brianne, what do you think? The over-the-top entrances, historically in Bachelor world, good or bad?
Well, I'm all for an over-the-top entrance when it's a big car, or even the woman who came on that little plane that was very strange and took forever. But I'm not okay with blindfolding him and kissing him. I'm sorry. This is the Me Too movement. That was assault. I'm not okay with it.
Yeah. What about the windmill thing?
It made me feel gross.
I'm kind of I'm already over the windmill thing's gonna be beaten to
too.
death for sure. There's no doubt.
Yes, and Peter actually knew one of the contestants before, right? Kelly, and they randomly met about a month ago at a hotel prior to filming. So what do we think? Should the other women be a little concerned about this?
Initially, I did not think there was any cause for concern because it sounded like they met in a hotel lobby. She introduced herself, and that was maybe the end of it. She was a fangirl or something. But I don't know. They had that moment later in the episode where they're actually in that hotel lobby and reliving the moment and dancing, and it seems like
there was more there.
There was more
This
than
wasn't
a
like a
handshake.
passing handshake that you wouldn't even remember. They had he referenced like a dance that they did. He then later in front of the group said he referenced it like being in a place where we initially had that spark, which the other girls picked up on.
Yeah.
I like her though. We were talking about this
I do
before.
too.
Like she actually is handling it pretty well. And guess what? She's playing the cards that she has, like everyone is. All right, but things already got tense when Sheehan confronted Hannah Ann for disrupting her time with Peter. Is Sheehan in the right, or do you respect Hannah Ann's abrasiveness here?
Well, I respect the abrasiveness of going a second time, but
or aggressiveness maybe instead of abrasive.
Yeah. I respect it going a second time. A third time is a little much, but I also think Sheehan did not handle it well, and it got really sassy and fiery in a way that I feel didn't put Sheehan in the best light.
Yeah, but she hung out. I mean, she hung around, and whatever she did seemed to work. It got his attention, and he kept her.
Yeah, and you know what else it got? Screen time.
Screen time, that's right.
Exactly.
More
the real
important than
goal
anything.
here.
That's right, that's
well,
right.
Hannah Ann got the first impression rose. She got a lot of time with Peter throughout the night. What do we think about this choice? What do we think?
Well, I do think that Hannah Ann is a front runner and fair and square. I think she actually is a solid choice. I don't dislike her. I do think she was a little aggressive, and I didn't love that he rewarded that with the rose, but
She's
she was
so
gonna
sweet,
keep
but she's
going.
got a little.
No, but listen, he sparked with her immediately. You could tell, and he was always okay with her coming back around. And one of the other girls even noted in her one-on-one interview with the producer interview or whatever, the confessional thing, just that she respected her for like, hey, she went for it and it worked. It really did. Yeah. Peter eliminated a handful of potential bachelorettes on Monday. How do you think he did for that first rose ceremony?
I think he handled it well. I can't imagine that that's a very easy choice to make when you really barely know any of these people. I feel like there was just a small handful of these girls that maybe made a real impression, at least from what they showed us. And he had to kind of let go of the ones who didn't.
Yeah, at that point, you're making a decision based on just little.
How does he remember everyone's name?
I always have that moment too.
Right? Someone's in his ear. Someone's in his ear. Yeah. All right, and we have to talk about Hannah B. She made a surprise appearance. First, she showed up to the house in a limo to return the wings that Peter gave her the first night of the show.
That was a sweet moment, actually.
Cute. But later, she shows up on the group date and has a breakdown. Take a look at this.
Do you regret sending me home at all in Crete?
Yeah, Peter, I question it all the time.
I felt zero doubt. Even, when you said Jed's name first, so sure that you were calling my name. And then, obviously, you didn't.
I've broke everybody's heart in my own through this experience.
No.
Whoa.
No.
Break this down for us. What is going through Peter's head right now?
Oh, I think Peter's head is a bottle full of mush. Because he finally got to ask the question he really wanted to ask, which was, do you have any regrets? And the answer was yes. And I do think he really had genuine feelings for her, and this would suddenly...
He said that he was in love with her.
Yeah, this would throw a wrench in
He
it.
revealed a lot in this segment. I actually thought this was a very honest interaction.
Yeah.
Revealed even that he was watching the final episode of her season and was telling his family, I'm all in for her. And then when she asked Tyler C out on that episode, it crushed him.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be damaging later
Yes.
when the girls that he's currently on the season with see just how much he was struggling to get through this, and obviously has some unresolved stuff with Hannah. I don't know, but is it
we think
fair?
it's fair?
Yeah, that's the question.
Is it fair? I think initially it's fair. I think the moment where she came out of the limo was a lovely, lovely moment. I think that this conversation was not the intent of Hannah's appearance on this part of the episode, and it spiraled. And you can kind of tell. I mean, I'm one of those people who watches and I look for little production things.
Yeah, did they tell him to say that?
Yes, and the scene where they're having that conversation, the lighting is bad.
It felt pretty real, actually. I think it went into a sort of territory that they didn't predict would happen,
Exactly.
especially that emotionally. I don't know. I love Hannah B. I've always been a fan of her.
Yes.
Something about this to me isn't a good look, and I think it's partially because
I
it feels
agree.
like it's stringing him along. He was the third choice. Everyone else kind of fell through, and now she's kind of there with him. I don't like the moment. Maybe because I've been strung along before. I'm like, don't do it.
No, I know. Let him go.
Anyway, we'll see how it plays out. Any predictions
I know.
for
What are
the
your
rest of the
Well,
season?
I don't think that she's going to join the house and be part of it.
I
So
don't
she goes
either.
on and does this little show called Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
I think Hannah Ann is one to watch, as is Kelly. I think we didn't talk about the big one-on-one date, but I think we need to watch out for Madison too. She's definitely an early front runner. That was a good date, though very strange to
With
me.
the parents renewing the vows.
That was a little intimate
Intense.
for a first one-on-one.
I was kind of scratching my head on that too, but it bodes really well for her. At least he felt comfortable for some reason taking her to that.
Well,
Yeah.
and his mom loved her. You
Yeah.
could tell.
That's big.
They hugged big in that second half of the date.
She's going to have a huge leg up, I think, for at least for a couple episodes.
100%.
Yeah.